Hey, what's up, guys? Joe Madden here for Picks and Parlays, coming at you with two games on our college football slate today. Now, we're going to kick it off with Bowling Green versus UMass. Looking at the lines in this one, we did see Bowling Green rolling in as a 14.5-point favorite. We've seen a little bit of movement. There's still 14s and 14.5s out there, but there's a couple of 13.5 starting to pop up. UMass plus all the points, I tell you want to look at this team at home. And then we're going to get into the later matchup, Western Michigan versus Eastern Michigan. Now, Eastern Michigan, nothing left to play for, not bowl eligible, while Western Michigan, they are looking for a win and a dominant one. Now, they opened as a 6.5-point favorite. Those lines have fired all the way up to 8 at circa. Shop the lines, you guys, over at Odds Logic. We are seeing some 7.5s out there. The pinnacle line is 7.5 at minus 108. And then you're seeing some of those other books pushing. FanDuel 7.5 at minus 122. So definitely shop those lines, get the best of the numbers. You don't want to lay more juice than you have to. So let's get into breaking down these games, what I'm liking in both of these matchups. The first one, we're going to talk Bowling Green versus UMass. Now, I do think UMass is the way you want to go. Grab them plus the 14, plus the 14.5, whatever line you can get out there for them. Yes, they are 0-11 on the season, but this team at home in this one, I'm willing to take a chance that they can cover the spread. Now, against the spread this season, 3-8, 1-4 at home. So I hear you, but you look at Bowling Green, they've only covered the spread in 4 of their last 13 games. When you look at their attack here versus UMass, they just don't have that downfield passing attack or the rushing attack to really exploit the weaknesses here on the defense of UMass. And I do think it's going to be a hard game here for Bowling Green to run away with this win. Yes, I do think they win this. Do they win it by double digits? I'm not sure. They're one of the least explosive offenses in the whole map, only averaging 153.4 passing yards per game and 3.75 yards per carry. Now, I do think the defense is a little better than we would expect for UMass. They're only allowing 12.55 yards per completion. Now, on their side, offensively, they're going to be able to run the ball here and keep Bowling Green's offense off the board, dominating time of possession. As we look at Bowling Green, and they are giving up 4.26 yards per carry, we're going to see UMass be able to extend those drives and own that time of possession. So with that, I'm going to look at a couple of things out here. I'm going to look at the tight end, Max Dowling, to be able to get in the end zone. I do think he has every possibility of getting in the end zone. He has had a couple touchdowns on the season, but we have seen Bowling Green's defense give up 13 touchdowns to that tight end position. You know, tight ends in the NFL are cashing for us. College football, they're cashing as well. Now, I know we're going to see that solid run game out of UMass, but I do think Gibson, the wide receiver here for UMass's numbers are just too light. It's 48.5 for his receiving yards, and I do think he can go over that number. He's had 5 receptions in the last 8 games, and Bowling Green's defense has been giving up 13 yards per reception this season. And then for Bowling Green, let's circle the running back. Austin Dendy here, over 88.5 rushing yards. He's rushed for more than 89 yards in 3 of his last 4 games this season. And up against UMass defense, allowing 216.2 rushing yards per game. We're going to see him have a solid day. But give me Bowling Green plus all the points. Now we're going to get into that next game, you guys. Of course, we're looking at Western Michigan versus Eastern Michigan. This one kicking off at 7:30 Eastern. Again, those lines are moving. Hard Rock just posted a 6.5, you guys. Circa's got an 8, so definitely shop those lines. Before we get into my best bets in that one, I want to remind you of the Weekend Warrior Pass happening over on picksandparlays.net. Head on over to picksandparlays.net and grab your handicapper of choice's best bets on the football field for Saturday and Sunday. So college and professional for just that one price of $49. As an added bonus, I'll also include any plays up there on a Monday. Now, Thanksgiving on the doorstep, you guys, we're combining Thanksgiving, Black Friday, and Cyber Monday into one full week of savings to thank our loyal client. Cyber Week site-wide sale, 33% off everything. Use code THANKS33 now through Cyber Monday at midnight. For the entire week, you can take 33% off the entire cart with that code THANKS33. It's our biggest site-wide savings of the year. Everything is included. Daily picks and best bets, full season packages, all access subscriptions, flex plans, and pick your team. Already discounted specials and promos. Every sport, every handicapper, every package. No limits, no exclusions, no minimums. Load up your cart. Apply thanks 33 at checkout and grab the biggest savings of the year before the sale ends Monday at midnight. So you guys, that is a great package. You definitely want to jump in on. Get back to Western Michigan versus Eastern Michigan. Like I said, movement coming in the lines. I'm going to look at some point totals here in this one. I do think Western Michigan, with their ability to clinch the conference title game with a win, will come out, put their best foot forward. Eastern Michigan is an eligible full game. This team has blown some fourth quarter leads, missed some big play opportunities, and this is kind of the season of what if they were able to get a couple more wins under their belt. 4-7 on the season, a 7-point dog at home. And you know, I love a dog at home, but I can't get there. If you like them, Circa does have an 8. There is a 6.5, like I said, at Hard Rock. So those lines are fluctuating across the board. My only bets are going to be on Western Michigan's team total and then Eastern Michigan's team total to the under. I'm liking the team totals, you guys, here. We're seeing Western Michigan right in that high, coming off that win, and it was a comeback win versus Northern Illinois. They were down 13-0. We're able to come back and get the win. Now, the storyline behind Western Michigan this season has been that defense. The defense has been so solid, second in the map in total defense, passing defense, and points per game allowed. They're effective on the ground with their run game as well. Their quarterback, Brock Lowry, has 7 touchdowns on the season, and he's also leading this team in rushing yards with 783 rushing yards. He's able to make those big plays when it matters. Western Michigan average 181 yards per game on the ground. Now, when we look at Eastern Michigan and their problems, they're really inefficient defensively. They're giving up 419 yards per game, 6.3 yards per play, and allowing right around that 30-point mark. The defense has struggled to get off the field as well, allowing 47% of third down attempts. So they're struggling. They're struggling in the red zone as well. Their quarterback, Noah Kim, has thrown for 2,490 yards with 16 passing touchdowns, but issues in that wide receiver role with injury. Running back McMillan is closing in on 1,000 yards rushing, but those injuries to the wide receiver role, this could have been such an explosive offense out there for Eastern Michigan, but it just didn't come through with those injuries. So where I'm going to go in this one, I got to look at Western Michigan over 28.5 points and over 387.5 yards. Like I said, Eastern Michigan giving up 419 yards per game on average. We're getting a Western Michigan team that wants this win to clinch a spot at the conference title game. We're going to see the best out of them. Over 28.5 points and over 387 yards seems like a really nice way to go. Now, if you're going to look at the other side, it is Eastern Michigan, the team total of 19.5. I do think they struggled to put up over this number. You're looking at a Western Michigan team whose defense should come out straight on fire. Now, could we get a garbage last-minute score? We could, but I don't think Western Michigan takes their foot off the gas in this one. I think their defense shows up for the full game as well as their offense. And we nicely see Western Michigan clear the 28.5 points. We see them go over the 387.5 yards. And then we see Eastern Michigan just struggling in this game to get anything done. Now, they were 4-1 against the spread on the season at home, so I'm a little cautious with that spread. But again, if you are shopping those lines over on Odds Logic, if you can only lay 6.5 with Western Michigan, that looks like is completely gone. We did see Hard Rock just having a 6.5. The money has come in, so that number is off the board, you guys. We are seeing 7.5 across the board, except for we are seeing an 8 at Circa. Okay, guys, that is it for me. Make sure you do stay tuned to Picks and Parlays for all the great free content that is coming out here on the daily. I appreciate you guys so much. If you can hit that like button, also let me know below this video what you're liking out there on the football field for this Tuesday. Should be a great day. Until next time, stay hot and let's make some freaking money. See you guys.